Hi everyone. So, couple of things for today. First of all, we do have another side hustle income to stuff. So I'll get this counted out in a wee moment. Before we do, I've been again really appreciating on the comments and advice people have been giving me. Yes, I did miscount in the last video, so the extra, I think it was £10 we had left over, was in the wrong place. And before we do any of that, I'm going to do this. It's not something I want to do, but you guys give me a lot of advice on the last video and you are completely correct. There's no point, as much as I want to start putting some money aside for the housing budget, it just doesn't make sense right now. So I'm going to take that out. The savings is growing well enough, but we're going to put this in towards the debt box because the quicker we pay off that debt, the less interest we're going to pay on it. It just makes more sense. I'm going to organize these out a wee bit. Going to try and keep things a wee bit neater in the cash stuffing side of things, just so I don't miscount again. So 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 125. So that's £125 out of the housing deposit, and we're going to stick it in the debt box, which as of last week is currently empty. I think what we'll do is we'll get some placeholders in here. I don't want to leave too much cash lying around, and instead paying off, if we actually pay off the debt, it just means we pay a little bit less interest. So we took all the money that was in there and we paid it, well, paid towards it, we didn't pay it off yet. I am going to keep building up that emergency savings fund back here because that's a good idea. But for the moment, we're going to leave the housing deposit one empty. I was kind of excited to do that, but you guys are right, it doesn't make sense. The only other folder that has any money, I think, in here is dining out. I think there's maybe about £40 in there. We'll check in a moment. Everything else is empty. We are starting fresh for February. I think all the bills and things have been paid. One other quick thing just before we start counting this. I have started to try and get a better understanding of my expenses. So I've got this tracker here and I've been going through the expense. Again, see, when it comes to some of these things like utilities and electricity, I don't actually know exactly how much we spend on average. I'm going to have to go through these and double check. Ones I do know, the rent, for example, is 900. Do you have to add the council tax to that? I might do that separately. The cell phone's always 40. Netflix is 15. We don't have cable or TV bills and things on top of that. I don't know exactly what we spend on groceries. I might look at like the last maybe 6 months or so and average that down. We do spend about £80 on the gym, maybe 85 or so. I'll double check that. We do give 20 quid to, actually that should be higher because we actually do two. I'll fix those later. And this one, I know a lot of people aren't going to like, but £20 on coffee. I work quite a lot from coffee shops just because I work from home a lot and I need a bit of a break from that. You go a wee bit mad. And this is the Pret Pass. So rather than pay for individual coffees, you pay about £20 a month, and that gives you 5 coffees a day. Their opening times are a little bit weird, but we have several Prets quite close to us, and I know that's £20, but it's £20 that brings me so much happiness. I can't quite bring myself to give that one up. So I'm trying to get a better understanding of my expenses there. I've also started to track, we're going to track more of these things, but I've started to track our savings target. So the goal is now to save £150. No, sorry. Our goal is to do £150 a month, and we'll maybe get to, I think 800 will be the target, or we'll maybe go up here and do about 1,000. We haven't got there yet. We have just started, and we have £60. That's the challenge envelopes back here. We're not going to be putting too much in here. The majority of it will be going to the debt box, But I like the idea of doing a little bit towards the saving challenge, just a little bit of fun for the channel. And once that's full, we'll hopefully do something fun with it. So that's my plan for the next month, get a better understanding of what I'm spending and put more money towards debt than things that are maybe a little more long-term than that. Okay, so this is our first side hustle income for the month. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100s. Easy here. 20, 40, 60, 80, 200s. 20, 40, 60, 80, 300s. And some 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, another 100. Oops, making a mess. Sorry guys, just fix this really quickly. That's the pile there. And the rest of the fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 5, 20. Put that there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 720 pounds. If I've counted that correctly. I think we'll double check as we go through. Okay, so the obvious ones to start with, actually, what I always do anytime we get money from a side hustle, I like to reinvest some of that money back in towards a side hustle. I don't like the idea of taking money just out of it. It won't grow anywhere. It has been growing quite well recently, actually. So right off the bat, we're going to take one of the £100 piles. Oh, actually lost some back there. And one more. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100s. Someone did suggest that I stop doing this and instead I put the money into the debt box. That might be the safer option, potentially. But if I can get the side hustle to grow, it's just a bigger income that can pay off the debt and then do other things in the future. So I'm going to keep putting a little bit in towards the side hustle. I do appreciate the advice, but I do like to put something in towards that. Okay, so this is the month I'm hoping to get a better understanding of what we actually pay, bills and rents and groceries and things. But because the folders are empty, we can at least start filling them up. So rent has been paid for January, but let's start putting some money aside for February. Keeping it simple to start with. Let's see, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100s. And let's do some of these 10s as well. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200. Let's put £200 towards rent. Good start to the month. Just while I'm doing this, I really want to thank everyone who gave me some advice over the first, I think it's been 2 or 3 weeks now. It's been really, really helpful. I know I'm still kind of behind on understanding how much I should be putting away for some things, but already I'm just getting so much more control over my money. It's been such a good start. Okay, bills. I'm going to try and take a chunk out of this one quite early in the month. Let's say £100 towards bills. We've actually been cutting some of these down, so I've actually replaced, we have 2 internet costs at the moment, which obviously isn't great, and it was kind of needed at the time. It isn't anymore, and I've cut one of them down and I'm replacing it with the mobile phone, which we're paying anyway. But I'm going to put £100 in towards the bills. Let's do 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100s. Probably going to need to put a bit more in later on, but it feels like a good start. Groceries. We are pretty much out of food in the kitchen, so we are going to have to do a shop. I think I'm going to put £60 in for today. So 20, 40, 50, 60. This is the one I'm going to try and look back over all the grocery shops over the last wee while. Obviously that will vary here and there, but if I can get a kind of average of what we've been doing. The car. So our entertainment costs have been quite low recently. We're quite frugal in how we spend our money for some things. But we do need a bit of gas in the car. That gets us out, gets us climbing and things. So I'm going to put £30 in there today. Let's do the fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's about a full tank for us. Did a wee bit of driving last weekend and we'll hopefully get somewhere tomorrow. Dining out, we have some in here already. Let's see. 20, 30, 40, 50. That's quite good. I'm going to put an extra little £10 in there today. And what we'll maybe do is, even when we don't use it, we'll just put some money aside. Even little tiny bits, let that build up. Entertainment. So let's see, we have Netflix. I don't overly like that we have Netflix. Sometimes I feel like I waste a lot of time on there at night and evenings, but it's one of those things. And most of my family use my account, so that expense isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And let's start putting a little bit of money in towards paying off the gym memberships, which counts under entertainment and health, I would say. Let's put £50 in there. So 20, 30, 40, 50. So we're getting some of these, what have we got in there just now? Okay. We're getting some of these paid off. Nice notice. That's Netflix and a good chunk of the gym memberships for the month. Don't have anything this week for gifts. I don't know if we have anything even this month we're going to need the gifts for. Miscellaneous. Yeah. Admission time. We're going to need £40 for miscellaneous. I know a lot of people aren't going to like this. I bought a Pokemon game. It was new out. I've been working quite hard on the side hustles and things. This hurts to see, but I did buy that. I'm not happy about admitting it, but yeah, it is what it is. Housing deposit. We're not putting anything in towards the housing deposit for a wee while. I might just remove this folder for a bit actually. And savings. I'm going to put a good chunk into the savings and the debt. So let's actually see what we have left here. We'll maybe split it in half. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 75, so it's 100, 115. So why don't we say £40 in towards the savings? Is there a set number people tend to keep in your savings? As in, consider this a rainy day folder. So if we need something urgently, if we have an expense that we hadn't expected, like the car catches fire, I really hope the car doesn't catch fire, a couple of months rent or something. I'm not really sure what the goal is. I've never really had a rainy day fund, which I know is awful to say. 10, 20, 30, let's do 40. So I don't really know what I'm aiming for in the savings folder, but it's good to know we have at least something set aside. And the rest, we're going to add some more into the debt box. So let's just double check. That's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75 altogether. Once I get this tracker set up, what we'll do is we'll have a proper look at, I'm not saying I don't know how much I owe on debt, but it's to a couple of different places. It's quite a lot, and I'll get it mapped out so we have a rough idea of when we're going to have that paid off. Other than that, thanks so much again for watching. Thank you for everyone who has offered me advice and things on the last couple of weeks. Again, if you have any advice on my get plans for this month, let me know. I am all ears, and we should be back next week. We have another income for the week, and we'll get those stuffed. I'm really, it might make it a little bit boring to watch, but I'm really going to try and deal with that debt box sooner rather than later. And this is the week we also finally have sold one of the websites. It's quite a big chunk of cash coming in, and we're going to start stuffing that towards the wedding folder. I did consider putting it all in towards the debt, but as long as we're taking a good enough chunk out of that, I do want to start putting this money aside for the wedding, but we'll look at that later. Thanks for watching. Any questions, any advice, I will be in the comments, and I'll try and reply to everybody. Thank you.